Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the Star Wars Rebels Clone Trooper. One of my favourite designs for the Clone Troopers. Some people loved it, some people hated it, but the Mark 1 Clone Trooper armour was always something I really loved the design of. What's interesting is the progression and the evolution now with the new Star Wars movie coming out. Some people love and hate the new Stormtrooper designs. It reminds me a little bit of this Clone Trooper for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it's cool to see that Star Wars and Hasbro are still continuing, and looking forward to getting some of the new movie figures as well. In the meantime, though, we've got this guy here. He is a Mark 1 Clone Trooper from Episode 2, probably not one of the better Star Wars movies. Had some great action scenes and some good moments, had a lot of bad dialogue and a lot of really annoying Anakin moments in it as well, unfortunately. Comes in the new sleeker style Star Wars packaging. Obviously the Stormtrooper helmet there, which is kind of cool as part of the Star Wars Rebels line. Taking a look at the bottom right there is a shot of the Clone Trooper. And at the back of the packaging, we see the read-up says, "Clone Troopers are engineered and trained to be super soldiers loyal to the Republic. Their first real battle takes place on Geonosis, where they are deployed to rescue Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Padme Amidala from their separatist captors." Pretty cool moment. Nice shot on the back. You can actually see some of the different clones. There's the Clone Trooper, not Sergeant, possibly Captain, Clone Trooper Captain maybe. From memory, the Phase 1 Clone Troopers had their rank signified by what colour they were. You had blue, red of course, green for the Sergeant, and then it progressed through like that. It was interesting that this armour really didn't last too long before they started customising it and things like that, as seen in Clone Wars, one of my favourite TV shows. Really, really good series. So let's get the Clone Trooper opened up and out of packaging. Okay, and here we have the Clone Trooper opened up and out of the packaging. As you can see, there is quite a bit of difference between the newer Star Wars figures and the old ones. So pretty much running through, you can see I've got him next to the Phase 1 Commander Gree that was also released in this set. You can see they're pretty much the exact same figure, just the Commander Gree has a different paint scheme. Obviously, the shoulder strap and the weapons holster. Other than that, though, they are pretty much the exact same figure. Both really cool. As I said before, I love the Phase 1 clone armor, but this one's certainly a much different figure to the previous Clone Troopers that we've got from Hasbro. Now, lately, they've been going back to basics, bare basics. The old 90s Kenner Star Wars figure days in terms of articulation. We've got a swivel head, swivel arm, nothing in the waist, legs move forward and back, no bend in the knee, no movement in the feet. So you're pretty much just bare basic movement with these newer Star Wars figures. I guess that's justified by the fact that they're only normally $10, or in this guy's case, $6, and then in the case that I actually purchased him on special for $4. So for $4, honestly, pretty awesome. Really happy to get him, and just one of those things where it's great for army building and for collecting. So pretty happy with that. Not a lot to say about the actual figure, but what I want to do is compare him to some of the others. Now, this is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper Sergeant that we got really early on as part of the it was either the Vintage Collection or the Legacy line. I can't recall which exactly. But this figure has a lot more articulation. It really shows the, I want to say regression, but at the same time, I guess the cost is a little bit lower. But basically, ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, swivel and bend ball joint at the elbow, ball-jointed wrists, ball-jointed waist, legs move forward and back, bend at the knee, and it's on a ball joint, and ball joint in the ankles. So absolute ton of articulation with this guy. You can see that he's pretty much the same build as the more modern released Clone Trooper. Pretty much the same. But then you compare it to the Vintage Collection you'll see that this guy is much slimmer and a lot skinnier. He's pretty much the exact same mold from the Clone Wars animated series figures. You can see he's much more slender. I don't want to say flimsier. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of clone trooper, if I'm completely honest. I do prefer the bulkier build. This one's really flimsy. You can see they're pretty much the same design, just a very different body mold. This one's very articulated as well. And one of the things that I really like about the Clone Trooper Lieutenant is that he comes with good accessories, good detail as well, especially compared to the newer figures, obviously with the removable helmet, and basically the same articulation as the earlier released Clone Trooper Sergeant. So overall, at $4, I'm not going to complain with this guy too much. I think it's reasonable value. At the same time, though, it's sad to see that basically, I remember as a kid, the old Kenner figures, they had very limited articulation, and they slowly started introducing more. And now they've gone back to that. And I know it's a cost-related issue. At the same time, though, they've got the Black Series, which has got more articulation, and the price point of that is really expensive, especially when you consider that for $18 you can get a lot of other figures out there that are probably better value. So each to their own, I suppose. Ultimately, if you're a fan of the Clone Troopers and you like the Phase 1 armor, then absolutely this guy I think is worth picking up. If you can look online or at your local figure shop, try and find an earlier released version with more articulation. You'll probably pick it up for around the $10 mark, and it's going to be a much better figure overall. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review on the Star Wars Rebels Phase 1 Clone Trooper.